When 1990 dawned, who could have imagined what lay ahead in thoroughbred racing? A year that was to know both triumph and tragedy started with the retirement of one of the sport's legends, jockey Bill Shoemaker. It was a year that saw the breeding industry lose its top two stallions to stall injuries, Aladar and Fabiano, and the death of the sire of sires, Northern Dancer. But the championship bloodlines continued, with Fabiano's 3-year-old son, Unbridled, leading the money list in 1990, and Aladar's 5-year-old, Criminal Type, dominating the handicap division. Race fans were denied the continuing rivalry of Sunday Silence and Easy Goer, both injured while training for a summer showdown and retired from the track within 2 weeks of each other. But new stars came on the scene. The perfect 2-year-old filly, Meadow Star. Housebuster dominated the sprint division, and two brilliant mares, Go for Wand and the defending Distaff champion, Bayakoa, raced towards what would prove to be a fateful meeting at the Breeders' Cup. All of this has brought us here to San Francisco to honor the sport's best at the 20th annual Eclipse Awards dinner, to salute the champions and look back with us at the year 1990 in thoroughbred racing. As Budweiser Racing Across America presents a year of triumph and tragedy, Thoroughbred Racing 1990. This ESPN sports presentation is brought to you by Budweiser. Nothing beats the excitement of horse racing, and nothing beats a Bud. By Thrifty Car Rental, because it's your money. And by the Breeders' Cup, racing's $10 million championship. We'll be back in San Francisco for our Eclipse Awards special next.
This is never going to work. Hey, relax. Anybody can send them roses.
Excuse me, we didn't order these. Ian, what's this?
Hi!
Did they really expect us to call them?
I'm telling you. Hello.
Gate Dancer at Good Chance Farm, Bellevue, Florida. First of the Northern Dancer line to win a Triple Crown race when he set a track record in the 1984 Preakness. The same year he won the Grade 1 Super Derby, again in track record time. Gate Dancer, one of the sport's all-time leading money winners, won or placed in 12 Grade 1 races, and missed winning the first two Breeders' Cup Classics by just 2 heads. Gate Dancer's first runners in 1990 placed near the top of all rankings of new stallions at Good Chance Farm.
On a night like this, you'll be grateful for a safety feature found in almost every Chrysler car you rent from Thrifty. A safety feature Thrifty hopes you'll never see. It's an airbag. That's right, an airbag. In about half the time it takes to blink your eye, this airbag can inflate and save your life. At Thrifty, we take safety as seriously as savings. Thrifty, because it's your money.
Join us at Turf Paradise on Sunday, February 24th, or watch us live on ESPN's Budweiser's Racing Across America for the 36th running of the $100,000 Phoenix Gold Cup. This Grade 3 event will attract the best sprinters in the nation to showcase their speed at 6 furlongs. So join us at Turf Paradise for the Phoenix Gold Cup on Sunday, February 24th. Come play in paradise. Turf Paradise.
Proceda at Stone Farm, Paris, Kentucky. The only son of Mr. Prospector with Grade 1 wins in Europe and the U.S. already has sired 3 stakes horses, including 12 winners from his first crop. Proceda at Stone Farm, where we're trying to raise you a good horse.
Welcome to San Francisco, California on a cool, foggy night in February, as the best of thoroughbred racing have come to accept their trophies at the 20th annual Eclipse Awards dinner. And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Welcome to San Francisco's Fairmont Hotel atop Nob Hill. My co-host for this championship evening in thoroughbred racing is Tom Dawson. Tom, it is a big evening for these people who are trying to make dreams come true this evening.
Oh, it's a great evening, Chris. One of the interesting things about these Eclipse Awards, the races for the Eclipse parallel some of the great races of 1990. Some of the horses went to the front in their divisions and just stayed there. Others finished the year very strongly with big late moves that impressed the voters.
And it wasn't easy for the voters. There are 3 groups that vote for these Eclipse Awards, the most prestigious awards in thoroughbred racing. They are the Thoroughbred Racing Associations, the Daily Racing Forum, and the National Turf Riders Association. And we have some other groups, some specialists who have other eclipses to hand out.
And one of the committees is charged with the job of giving eclipses to the media, those who cover thoroughbred racing. Among the 1990 winners were several previous recipients, including Bill Knack. His Sports Illustrated remembrance of the late Secretariat earned Knack his 4th Eclipse for magazine writing. For an unprecedented 3rd straight year, the award for radio achievement went to Louisville's John Asher. One of his features for WHAS Radio centered on the tragedy of Gopher Wand, as did the emotional piece by Newsday's Paul Moran, who earned his 2nd Eclipse for newspaper writing. ABC Sports, whose year-long racing coverage included the Kentucky Derby, took National Television Achievement honors for the 2nd straight year and 4th in the last 5. First-time winners were local television recipient WKPC-TV, a public broadcasting station in Louisville, and Michael Carty of the Thoroughbred of California. His photo of actor-breeder Jack Klugman's close-up of a foal took top honors. And we want to add our congratulations to our brethren in the media for a job well done.
Well, Tom, the most prestigious Eclipse Award given out any year is the Special Award of Merit. And this year it went to a real Kentucky hard boot, Warner L. Jones, chairman of the board of Churchill Downs, a prominent breeder and owner. He has been at Churchill Downs, connected with America's most famous racetrack for more than 49 years. Since taking over as chairman in 1984, he's led a renaissance of that track to the tune of $25 million. We know him as a breeder of a Derby winner, an Oaks winner, and breeder of the all-time record-selling yearling $13.1 million colt in 1985. Warner L. Jones certainly deserves the congratulations and the salute of the industry for all he has done for this game.
As do the other winners that we will be announcing shortly.
We are about to go inside for the 17 awards to be accepted, but before we do that, we need to take you on their long road through 1990, how the champions became champions. That's coming up next on our Eclipse Awards special. The Year in Review in Thoroughbred Racing 1990 will begin right after this.
We're going to the races, everybody come on.
To the New Orleans Fairgrounds, it's the winning place to be.
Come pass a good time with your family and friends. The party never ends.
Hey, y'all gotta come, you hear?
The New Orleans Fairgrounds.
And all that jazz.
These Eclipse Award winners found coming to Keeneland can be a championship experience.
They jump, they soar, they move with the greatest of ease. International champions conquer the monstrous moguls at the World Freestyle Championships from Lake Placid. Today at 5 Eastern on ESPN.
As a new decade began in thoroughbred racing, an era ended. The greatest jockey the sport has ever known, Bill Shoemaker, started 1990 with his final ride. His 41-year riding career started at Golden Gate Fields in Northern California in 1949. It ended on February 3rd, 1990 at Southern California's Santa Anita in the 5th race, the Legend's last ride. For the 40,352nd and final time, 58-year-old jockey Bill Shoemaker got a leg up on a thoroughbred.
Bill Shoemaker on the outside challenging, and down the stretch he comes. Shoemaker on the outside with a short lead. O'Robbie charging up in the middle of the racetrack, but Shoe has the lead. 50 yards from home. Here comes Exemplary Leader on the inside. Exemplary Leader with Eddie Delahousie will win it by a half.
The 4th place finish didn't make any difference to Shoe or his fans. In ceremonies earlier in the day, the usually unemotional Shoemaker had to pull himself up.
Anyway, I'd want to thank all these fellas behind me here that I've ridden with all these years, 30 or 40 years. I've had a lot of fun with them. Thank you very much.
It did, really. I didn't think it would, but it did. When I turned and saw all those jocks and knew I wouldn't be around them, excuse me, that much anymore, it did get to me.
The Shoe's last ride came on the first really big weekend of racing of the new year, as 1989's 2 top race mares, Bayakoa and Gorgeous, dueling here in the Breeders' Cup Distaff, opened their 1990 campaigns in separate races at Santa Anita. The Gorgeous Connections, owner Robert Clay and trainer Neil Drysdale, selected the La Cañada Stakes for 4-year-old fillies, and it was like a morning workout for the daughter of Slew of Gold. The next day, the champion made her debut. Bayakoa was entered in the Grade 1 Santa Maria Handicap, and only 3 others decided to challenge the Argentine-bred Eclipse winner. But it was no challenge at all. Bayacoa romped home by 3.5 lengths to open her title defense. On that same weekend in California, Santa Anita hosted the $500,000 Strube Stakes, showcasing some of the older horses that would become major factors in the handicap division in 1990.
On the inside in the white, it's Hawkster. Quiet American. Chris McCarron took a peep behind. He's confident. Flying Continental now becomes the danger on the outside. Quiet American. Flying Continental's coming at him. Hawkster down at the rail. Flying Continental and Quiet American head and head. Flying Continental's going to get there. It's Flying Continental and Corey Black to win the Charles H. Strube by a neck.
A week earlier in the San Pasqual Handicap at Santa Anita, a 5-year-old horse named Criminal Type would score his first stakes victory and give his owners, the famed Calumet Farm, its first added money win at that West Coast track in 35 years. Leading trainer D. Wayne Lucas had these post-race observations that made him sound like a prophet.
Well, he's always been a horse with a lot of ability. He's a horse that we've liked from the beginning. The thing about him was that he was kind of too social. He wanted to stay with this company all the time. He's been second by a nose a number of times. Even a lounge company, he'd run with him. And now he's got the idea that he's supposed to run by him and get down through there in the stretch, and he's doing that with authority, and I think that's going to make him a very good horse.
Early February saw some major changes in the Triple Crown outlook as the winter-booked Kentucky Derby favorite Grand Canyon was taken off the track with an injury. He would never race again, and eventually the $825,000 Keeneland sales graduate had to be humanely destroyed after suffering from laminitis. The 1989 juvenile champion Rhythm made his debut on the Triple Crown Trail on February the 10th in the Grade 3 Hutchison Stakes at Gulfstream Park. Rhythm never found the beat and finished 7th, while a new star emerged. The sprinter Housebuster won the Hutchison by an easy 3 lengths. The West Coast 3-year-olds found the new leader with Las Barreras Wonder Colt from Puerto Rico, Mr. Frisky. He came to the U.S. with a perfect 13-for-13 record. He had never been behind another horse when he made his U.S. debut in the San Vicente Stakes.
Mr. Frisky, the wonder horse from Puerto Rico, now gets the lead from Tarrason. A 16th of a mile to go. Mr. Frisky is going to keep his unbeaten record intact as he wins the San Vicente.
On the distaff side, Bayacoa continued to dominate the division, beating her Breeders' Cup rival Gorgeous in the Santa Margarita for her 9th Grade 1 victory, her 5th win in a row. That string would be snapped, though, when Bayacoa challenged the boys in the $1 million Santa Anita Handicap. The 22-to-1 long shot Ruhlman, running 1.25 miles for the first time in his career, broke on top and never looked back as he held off Criminal Type and Flying Continental to win by just under 2 lengths, giving Hall of Fame trainer Charlie Whittingham his 8th Big Cap victory. On March 17th, Florida celebrated its Derby Day and gave racing a courageous new Triple Crown contender in Unbridled. Jockey Pat Day rode him to a 4-length victory, and trainer Carl Nasker talked about Unbridled's edge.
I tell you what, this horse trusts people, and he'll do anything a jockey asks him to, and he likes Pat, and he believes if Pat says go through here, it's okay to go through here. He likes people. A lot of horses just are too timid to do that. They do not trust their riders. They do not, you know, they feel unconfident. But this horse, he believes he can do anything. He's happy, and I think today was a great race.
Does he believe he can win the Kentucky Derby?
He believes it.
On the same day at Gulfstream, Summer Squall, who would also play a key role in the 1990 Triple Crown story, made his 3-year-old debut as he chased Housebuster in the Swale Stakes. Housebuster won his 5th straight, while Summer Squall suffered his first career defeat, losing by a length in a rapid 1:22-1 for the 7 furlongs. Summer Squall came back with a win in the Jim Beam Stakes, just 2/5 of a second off the track record on a muddy racing strip. Moving to April, the perfect Mr. Frisky stamped himself as the Kentucky Derby favorite with his 16-for-16 record. After this, 4.5-length victory in the Santa Anita Derby. Summer Squall, meanwhile, continued to improve in winning the Bluegrass Stakes, beating Land Rush and Florida Derby winner Unbridled. The next weekend, 36 Red emerged as the best Derby prospect in the East as he won the Wood Memorial after earlier taking the Gotham Stakes in New York. And in Arkansas, this year's bargain horse, Silver Ending, purchased for just $1,500 by trainer Ron McAnally at a Keeneland Fall yearling sale, romped to victory in the 54th Arkansas Derby. It pushed his earnings total to more than $638,000 and earned him a trip to Kentucky. Coming up next, the 116th Run for the Roses.
We at California Thoroughbred Sales are especially proud of the way our horses have been running and of our 1991 March catalog. The list ranges from the bread and butter horse to those by internationally renowned sires, including Caro, Roberto, Flying Paster, and the exciting Young Woodman. 1/4 of our entries are California breds, thus eligible for the state's lucrative Owner Bonus Award. Come see us at Del Mar.
Now, for all you rookies out there, the great Nolan Ryan will demonstrate his pitching technique.
The Bic Metal Shaver, because I want to look as good off the mound as on. Before the game, it's Bic Metal. After the game, it's Bic Metal. The Bic Metal Shaver, because even good old boys want to look good. It's a choice of this right-hander, the Bic Metal Shaver. It makes me look good every time out. How's that one?
When you're all stuffed up and use an ordinary nasal spray, it drips into your tissue where it can't help you breathe. But not Sinex Ultrafine Mist. Its medicine stays where you need it, so you can breathe the way you want to. We don't drip down, we clear up.
I like what shampoo and conditioner do for my hair, but I love what Pert Plus does for me. Pert Plus is a unique shampoo and conditioner in one, so my hair turns out just the way I like it. Clean, conditioned, looking great, but without the bother of 2 bottles. Imagine, hair I like without the fuss. That's what Pert Plus does for me. If only everything in my life was so simple.
Wash and go with Pert Plus. Also in dandruff control.
Thoroughbred racing is a numbers game, one played against long odds. In 1987, there were 50,765 registered foals. Of that number, 348 were thought to be good enough to be nominated for the 1990 Triple Crown Series. 15 made it to the starting gate at Churchill Downs on the first Saturday in May to be part of America's most famous race, the Kentucky Derby. Mr. Frisky at 9-5 was a slight betting favorite over Summer Squall, while Unbridled was dismissed at 10-1.
Along the inside, that's Real Cash holding on to the lead by a head. Mr. Frisky with Gary Stevens on the outside challenging. Those two match strides as they round the far turn. On the inside, it's Real Cash. On the outside, it's Mr. Frisky, 2.5 back. That's 36 Red, and Summer Squall is charging up on the outside. Summer Squall with a rush into third. Unbridled is fourth, and moving quickly on the extreme outside. Pleasant Cap behind a wall of horses is fifth as the field turns for home. Summer Squall toward the inside. Unbridled out in the middle of the racetrack. Charges up to challenge. Those two are heads apart. Unbridled on the outside, and Summer Squall at the rail. And down the stretch they come. Unbridled takes command. Summer Squall is second. It's 6 lengths farther back to Pleasant Tap. Along the inside, Mr. Frisky is out of it and through the stretch into the wire. The 116th run for the Roses goes to Unbridled with jockey Craig Barrett.
The margin was 3.5 lengths, and the time for the 1 1/4 of 2:02 over a track listed as good included a final quarter of 24-2, the fastest since Secretariat's Derby in 1973. In suffering the first defeat of his career, the favorite Mr. Frisky finished 8th, beaten 19 lengths. On the Monday after the Derby, the Jockey Club released its study on Lasix that shook the industry. Used as an anti-bleeding medication for years by horsemen in every state except New York, the study labeled it a performance-enhancing medication. Lines were drawn, the study attacked, and the LASIK issue continued as a major debate throughout the year. The Friday before the Derby, Hall of Fame trainer Woody Stevens underwent quadruple heart bypass surgery in Louisville, Kentucky. The man who trained 5 consecutive Belmont winners was sidelined for most of 1990. The Derby winner, Unbridled, stayed at Churchill Downs for the 1-week break before the Preakness, but the attention of the racing world had definitely switched to Old Hilltop with the running of the Pimlico Special, the first $1 million race in the history of Maryland.
Now moving to the top of the stretch, and Ruhlman tries to stretch his speed the entire mile in 3/16. With a 1/4 mile to the finish line, he's in front by 1 1/4 lengths. On the outside, Criminal Type tries to close the gap. These Selecto at the rail, opening first with McCarron on the outside, now moves up third. DeRoche at the rail is fourth.
His time of 1:53 established a new track record for the mile and 3/16 at Pimlico. And the $600,000 first place check nearly doubled Criminal Type's career earnings. The check also pushed trainer Dwayne Lucas to new heights, the first thoroughbred trainer in the history of the sport to go over $100 million in earnings. The next week, it was back to Pimlico for the Preakness, the second jewel of the Triple Crown. The Lasix issue again took center stage as the two Derby stars locked up in the stretch.
Unbridled on the outside, moving up. Summer Squall gaining ground and saving ground along the inside with a quarter of a mile to go. Fighting Notion takes him into the stretch for the Preakness. Unbridled on the outside, Summer Squall at the rail, and down the stretch they come. The leaders head apart. Summer Squall on the inside, taking command. Unbridled on the outside is second, turning into the final 16th of a mile. It's Summer Squall, second in the Kentucky Derby. He's going to win the Preakness by 2.5 lengths.
The battle for the $1 million Triple Crown bonus was now even, 8 points apiece. But Summer Squall's connections had announced even before the Preakness victory that, bonus or not, they would not be running in the Belmont.
I think any other decision would be irresponsible. This horse has had a vigorous, aggressive campaign. He's handled it well, and he demonstrated that in the Preakness. But I think to ask him to come back in 3 weeks and run 1.5 miles in the Belmont without Lasix would not be right.
Racing celebrated the Memorial Day weekend with a race that many felt was the best of 1990. It was the Metropolitan Mile at Belmont Park, featuring Easy Goer, Criminal Type, and Housebuster. And that was the race as they turned for home.
Housebuster continues to lead easily by 2. Criminal Type is second still by 2. Easy Goer on the outside is third. Easy Goer gains on the outside of Criminal Type, which is also gaining on the outside of Housebuster. They pass the 8th pole. Housebuster on the rail leads by a neck on the outside. Criminal Type second by a half further out. Easy Goer remains in third. Criminal Type on the outside gets the lead. Housebuster on the rail coming down again. Those two to the wire.
Criminal Type stamped himself as racing's leader and keyed an incredible weekend for the Dwayne Lucas stable, winning 4 graded stakes, including 3 grade 1s, for a 3-day total in purses of more than $843,000. And speaking of money, Hall of Fame rider Lafitte Pinkai Jr. became the first jockey in history to go over the $150 million mark in career earnings by his mounts, as he bought Lucas's champion turf horse, Steinland, past Hawkster, to victory in the Hollywood Turf Handicap. The first weekend in June marked the return of 1989 Horse of the Year Sunday Silence with a win in the California. Earlier in the day, Sunday Silence's rider, Chris McCarron, went down in a spill that broke both legs and his right forearm, sidelining him for more than 3 months. As the Belmont Stakes approached, racing lost another star. But Mr. Frisky, who came into the Triple Crown with that perfect 16 for 16 record, had to battle for his life with a throat abscess that interfered with his breathing. The 122nd Belmont was a foreign affair, as Ireland shipped over a relative unknown in Go and Go. Sent off at 7-1, he caught 36 red in the stretch and drew away for an easy 8 1/4 length victory. Unbridled wrapped up his $1 million bonus with a 4th place finish. Belmont Day was also a big day for New York racing's first family, as Phipps stable horses swept the other 3 graded stakes on the card. And the brilliant filly Go for Juan capped the big weekend of racing at Belmont, winning the Mother Goose, the first of 5 straight Grade 1 victories for the Christiana stable star. Back with more summer racing as we continue to review 1990 right after this.
Now, for all you rookies out there, the great Nolan Ryan will demonstrate his pitching technique.
The big metal shaver, because I want to look as good off the mound as on. Before the game, it's big metal. After the game, it's big metal. The big metal shaver, because even good old boys want to look good. It's a choice of this right-hander, the big metal shaver. It makes me look good every time out. There's that one.
When you're all stuffed up and use an ordinary nasal spray, it drips into your tissue where it can't help you breathe. But not Sinex Ultrafine Mist. Its medicine stays where you need it, so you can breathe the way you want to. We don't drip down, we clear up.
Hey,
what's with the 2 bottles? You gonna wash your hair twice?
Oh, funny. It's shampoo and conditioner. Maybe you've heard of them.
Yeah, I use them, but I get them both in 1 bottle with Pert Plus.
That's great, but I gotta use dandruff shampoo.
Yeah, me too. And that's why I got Pert Plus for dandruff.
Let me see that. Dandruff shampoo plus conditioner in 1. Hey, my hair's clean, easy to manage, no flakes.
Beautiful. So let's go.
Dandruff control, Pert Plus. Great hair, no flakes, no fuss.
And after 62 years, move over Ty Cobb. A no-hitter for Dave Stewart. There's one. It's a no-hitter. Nolan Ryan is the 20th pitcher in Major League Baseball history to win 300 games.
Once again this season, if it happens in baseball, you'll see it on ESPN. Live, top-ranked boxing on ESPN. The place where fighters have stepped into the ring as unknowns, made the right connection, and emerged as champions.
You're gonna knock them out to win this, all right?
It's another Championship Sunday. U.S. Olympic hero and IBF light flyweight champion Michael Carbajal puts his title on the line against Macario Santos. Top-ranked boxing, Sunday night, live on ESPN. They jump, they soar, they move with the greatest of ease. International champions conquer the monstrous moguls at the World Freestyle Championships from Lake Placid. Today at 5 Eastern on ESPN.
One of racing's headline summer events was California's $1 Million Hollywood Gold Cup. It brought together the defending Horse of the Year, Sunday Silence, Santa Anita Handicap winner, Ruhlman, and $1 Million Pimlico Special winner, Criminal Type, the hottest horse in the country. The superstars in the field of 7 for the Gold Cup.
Criminal Type, Sunday Silence locked together. Sunday Silence, Criminal Type, clear from Ruhlman, then opening burst. Past the 8th pole, Sunday Silence, Criminal Type. It's a soul-stirring duel, there's nothing in it. Criminal Type, the inside, and Sunday Silence. One head up and one down. Sunday Silence, Criminal Type hit the line.
In the winner's circle, the Calumet Connections celebrated Criminal Type's victory that made him that historic farm's first thoroughbred to ever earn more than $2 million. June ended with a 17-1 long shot Tempest Cloud, winning the 4th race on June 30th at Hollywood Park. It was win number 1 for Bill Shoemaker, the trainer, after more than 8,800 wins as a jockey.
Well, it's always nice to have that first one over, then you can forget about it and go on from there, you know. But until you get the first one, nobody thinks you can train. You know, I think I got more thrill out of this than any race I ever won as being when I was a jock.
July 4th proved to be a better holiday for New York star Easy Goer. He won the Suburban Handicap to bounce back from his Memorial Day 3rd-place finish in the Met Mile. With the victory, the 4-year-old son of Aladar moved near the $4.9 million mark in career earnings. On the international racing scene, at the rich Budweiser Irish Derby, Salsabile became the first filly in 90 years to win that classic event. Around the world, July means the select yearling sales at Keeneland. While the averages fell some in 1990, the average price was still more than $352,000. The sale topper was this colt by Seattle Slew, a half-brother to Summer Squall, sold to a group from Ireland for $2.9 million. The summer had its highs and lows in racing. Within 2 weeks, racing lost 2 of its marquee thoroughbreds. Easy Goer was retired after sustaining a sesamoid fracture of the right foreleg after a workout on July 15th at Belmont Park. His arch-rival, Sunday Silence, was training for the Arlington Challenge Cup in Chicago when he suffered a ligament tear that ended his career. Among the summer highlights was Steinland's impressive turf victory in the inaugural Caesars International Handicap at Atlantic City Racecourse. Racing's winningest female jockey, Julie Crone, returned to the races on July 25th at Monmouth Park after a 7-month layoff following a spill last November. She celebrated her 27th birthday by winning her first race back and 2 of the 4 she rode that day. August in racing means Saratoga. The stars were out for the opening week stakes. Meadow Star made it 3 in a row, taking Saratoga's first stakes event, the Schuylerville. The next day, Gopher Wand continued her Grade 1 victory string, equaling the test stakes record of 121 as she went over the $1 million mark in earnings. Criminal Type solidified his claim as the nation's best handicap horse, winning the Whitney for his 4th straight Grade 1 victory at 4 different racetracks. At California's summer racing home, Del Mar, Quiet American proved too much for the champion mare Bayacoa in the San Diego Handicap. The National Racing Hall of Fame in Saratoga celebrated its 40th anniversary by bringing back 34 of the 42 living members of the Hall of Fame. 1990 inductees included the gallant gelding John Henry, who won 7 titles in his career and earned over $6.5 million after being purchased by Sam and Dorothy Rubin sight unseen for $25,000. John Henry's trainer, Ron McAnally, was also enshrined, along with the man who sets the standards in the steeplechase world, conditioner Jonathan Shepard, with 10 Eclipse Awards. And popular jockey George Velasquez, the 4th leading rider of all time with more than 6,000 winners. The feature race of Saratoga's second week was the Alabama Stakes for 3-year-old fillies. Gopher Wand scared off all but 2 challengers, but it was still no contest as she romped to her most impressive career victory, winning by 7 lengths. Saratoga's headline event is the race known as the Midsummer Derby, the Travers Stakes. A $1 million purse attracted a full field of 14, including Belmont Stakes winner Go and Go, coming back over from Ireland. But as they started to make the turn for home, Dave Johnson had already spotted the winning move.
Rhythm on the far outside is 8th and moving up, but there's a 1/4 mile to go. So Richard Lewis along the inside. Shotgun Scott from between horses. 36 Red in the middle of the racetrack 3rd. Go and Go is 4th. And Rhythm is gobbling up ground on the far outside. And down the stretch they come. So Richard Lewis toward the inside. Here comes Rhythm on the outside. Rhythm on the outside, gaining with every stride. Rhythm, the horse with quick correct the iron, takes the Travers by some 3 lengths.
On the same weekend, Canada celebrated its 2nd straight Triple Crown sweep as Kinghaven Farms' Izvestia rolled to an impressive victory in the Breeders' Stakes at Woodbine. The 3-year-old Canadian bred took the crown by a combined total of 25 3/4 lengths. Trainer Roger Atfield had his hands on the $1 million bonus check for the 2nd year in a row. The summer racing season came to a close with one of the most dramatic stretch drives of the year. It was the Grade 1 Island Handicap at Monmouth Park.
They're in the final furlong, and Bo Genius is battling back with Tricky Creek on the outside. It's Bo Genius on the inside, and Tricky Creek on the outside. Those two battling stride for stride to the wire with Tricky Creek on the outside.
The photo showed Bo Genius on the inside won the Island, his 6th straight stakes win. Take another look at one of the year's best finishes as we go to the break, and then back with more of the best races and the top stories of 1990.
Another Breeders' Cup Championship moment. On a sunny afternoon at New York's Belmont Park, 2-year-old sensation Meadow Star looked to complete her season undefeated with a victory in the $1 million juvenile for fillies.
Meadow Star taking command, leading the way and leaving the others behind in the wake of her brilliance. A perfect season for Meadow Star.
For Meadow Star, this crowning achievement was her Breeders' Cup Championship moment.
It's part of the celebration and part of the game. It's a big night out and a warm welcome home. When the job's well done and you call it a day, it's there. And for 80 million responsible Americans, it's simply a good part of the good life. It's beer. A message from Budweiser.
A lot of people never get a chance to see the racetrack this time of day, and that's too bad because this is my favorite time out here. I mean, it's calm, it's peaceful, coffee's good. It's so calm here in the morning, it's almost intense. But there's another time you just gotta love, too. Around here, we call that post time.
Nominations close February 23rd for the Jim Beam Stakes, running on March 30th.
Snow, incredible snow.
You are psyched, huh?
It's our first trip to America's premier ski resort. Hey, what do you think?
Black, huh?
Yeah.
I can see you working the main lodge tonight there in the romantic glow of a roaring fire. Your dandruff takes its toll. Dandruff? 'Tis the season for the flakes that don't melt. I shampoo every morning. Shampoo till spring with an ordinary shampoo. Won't work like this. You use Head and Shoulders. You don't have dandruff. Nothing gets by you, does it?
Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Wimbledon Farm is the home of classic Belmont Stakes winner Danzig Connection. This son of Danzig and grandson of Northern Dancer has his second crop at the track in 1991. Danzig Connection, continuing classic proven bloodlines at Wimbledon Farm, Lexington, Kentucky.
As September opened in thoroughbred racing, Arlington International offered its $1 million showcase event. Golden Pheasant, trained by Charlie Whittingham for Bruce McNall and hockey great Wayne Gretzky, defeated with approval Steinlen and Prize to move to the front of the turf division. Meanwhile, in New York, Housebuster scored his most impressive victory of the year, demolishing the field in the Jerome by 14 lengths. In the 3-year-old ranks, Summer Squall reasserted himself with this Pennsylvania Derby victory. At the same time, arch rival Unbridled was suffering back-to-back losses to stablemates, including this 3.5-length defeat by Home at Last in the $1 million Super Derby. But Unbridled would push on towards the Breeders' Cup Championship Day, as would Dispersal, a front-running winner here of the Woodward. In the final 3 weeks before the Breeders' Cup Showdown in New York, some of the other stars gave outstanding preview performances. Bayakoa beat Gorgeous at Keeneland in what was to be their final meeting. Juvenile filly leader Meadow Star was awesome in winning the Frisette by 14 lengths. The 2-year-old colt Fly So Free moved to the head of his class with a victory in the Grade 1 Champagne. And Go for Wand continued her dominance with an easy victory in the Beldame. But the list of those who would be forced to miss the Breeders' Cup impacted nearly all divisions. Belmont Futurity winner Eastern Echo was retired undefeated after a training injury. Mishaps also ended the 1990 seasons of Turf Star Golden Pheasant and Sprint division leader Housebuster. Criminal Type was forced into retirement after an injury in the Woodward. And Summer Squall's campaign ended abruptly after he bled during the Meadowlands Cup. Breeders' Cup 7 at Belmont Park in New York was to be racing's crowning moment. 7 races worth $10 million that would help decide the year-end champions. But the day would really mirror the year of triumph and tragedy in the sport. There were the crowning performances in the juvenile races as Meadow Star finished off a perfect campaign, romping to a 5-length victory. She finished her first season with 7 starts, 7 wins, and just under $1 million in earnings. Fly So Free would show he was racing's best 2-year-old colt, taking the juvenile by 3 lengths. On the grass, the Europeans took the honors, with French-based In the Wings winning the $2 million turf, giving the USA's leading money rider Gary Stevens his first ever Breeders' Cup Day victory. The Breeders' Cup Mile provided the day's most nostalgic moment as 54-year-old European riding legend Lester Piggott won on Royal Academy after just returning from a 5-year retirement. The sprint opened the Breeders' Cup Day program and gave an ominous sign of things to come. With Safely Kept on the lead down the backside, Mr. Nickerson collapsed, with Shaker Knit unable to avoid him also going down. Both had to be destroyed. In the stretch, it appeared Europe's sprint star De Jure, the 2-to-1 favorite, was ready to pass Safely Kept when he suddenly jumped to shadow on the track. It was all the filly needed as Safely Kept came back for the victory against odds of 12-to-1. The race that everyone wanted to see, the Distaff, would turn out to be the one nobody wanted to believe. The brilliant 3-year-old filly Go for Wand, winner of 5 straight Grade 1 races. The champion mare, Bayakoa, back to defend her Breeders' Cup Distaff title. They were locked up in the stretch with the makings of one of racing's most dramatic finishes ever.
Stride, Go for Wand on the inside. Bayakoa battling back. A dramatic Distaff. Go for Wand grimly holding on. Bayakoa right there. They had bobbled. Oh, and a tragedy as Go for Wand has fallen at the 16th hole.
The crowd was stunned. The racing world shocked as Go for Wand had to be destroyed on the track. The emotional day came to a close with racing's richest event, the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic. It was to mark the return to the spotlight of one of the year's brightest stars, as the Kentucky Derby winner Unbridled, dismissed at 6-1, broke from the far outside of the 14-horse field. Reunited with jockey Pat Day for the first time since that Florida Derby win in March, Unbridled was next to last for the first part of the Classic, 9th as they turned for home. It was then that Day turned him loose, and he started gobbling up horses on the inside, finally splitting the two leaders, 36 Red on the rail, and Europe's Ibn Bey on the outside to take the Classic. When we return, some year-end racing highlights, the money leaders, some goodbyes, and more on the Year in Review Eclipse Awards special.
Pittsburgh's home of rock and roll. 102.5 DVE.
Enter a world of travel and recreation for the entire family at the Pittsburgh Travel, Sports, and Outdoor Show. It's thousands of travel and vacation ideas. It's fishing and hunting seminars from the pros. It's a complete array of RVs, motorcycles, ATVs, boats, hunting, archery, and fishing equipment. And it's where you'll find the Buckmaster's Top Bow Series Regional Indoor Bow Competition. The Pittsburgh Travel, Sports, and Outdoor Show, February 27th through March 3rd at the downtown Pittsburgh Convention Center. A Heart production.
It's New Orleans tradition of good food and fun. We're going to the races, everybody come on. To the New Orleans Fairgrounds, it's the winning place to be. Come pass a good time with your family and friends. The party never ends.
Hey, y'all gotta come, you hear?
The New Orleans Fairgrounds. And all that jazz.
A dream is born. And with care and attention, discipline and freedom, the dream begins to come alive. Share the dream. Let thoroughbred racing come alive for you.
There were some late closers at the end of the year in thoroughbred racing. Quiet American denied a chance to run in the Breeders' Cup. Shipped in from California to romp in the Naira Mile at Aqueduct. It's All Greek to Me made a late run at the male turf title with Grade 1 victories in the Hollywood Derby and Hollywood Turf Cup. And Best Pal atoned for his poor Breeders' Cup Day performance by winning the $1 million Hollywood Futurity to finish the year as racing's richest two-year-old. In fact, Best Pal was the last of 11 thoroughbreds to earn more than $1 million in 1990, including Criminal Type in his Vestia, who went over $2 million, and Unbridled, who led the way with more than $3.7 million. Dwayne Lucas, for the 8th straight year, topped the trainer's earnings list. Gary Stevens won his first riding title, totaling over $13.8 million with 283 winners. The owners of Canadian Triple Crown winner Isvestia, Kinghaven Farms, topped the owners list with more than $5 million in winnings. Unbridled accounted for over half of the record total of over $6.9 million in earnings for Florida-based Tartan Farms, giving them their first breeding title ever. And although Aladar is gone, put down in November after a stall injury at Calumet Farm, he went out on top as the year's leading sire by progeny earnings, just $49,439 ahead of Fabiano, who also had to be humanely destroyed after a stall accident last year. As always, there were some goodbyes to say. The Impact owner of the 80s, the colorful Eugene V. Klein, died of a heart attack in March. Klein owned horses that won more than 400 races, earned over $27 million, 9 Eclipse Awards, and 7 Breeders' Cup Day events. The sport also lost legendary horsemen like Leslie Combs II, who bred 171 stakes winners. He died at the age of 88. Olin Gentry, who managed farms that bred 188 stakes winners and 20 champions, left us at age 89. Hall of Fame rider Johnny Longden retired as a trainer at age 83, the only man to both ride and train a Kentucky Derby winner. He won the Triple Crown on Count Fleet in 1943. Racing started the new decade with a new track in Kansas, the Woodlands. Saw the change in ownership of the nation's third oldest racing center, the Fairgrounds in New Orleans. And the state of Washington's race center, 55-year-old Long Acres Racecourse, was purchased by the Boeing Aircraft Company. 1990's winningest thoroughbred was Josie's Gigolo, who posted 17 wins while traveling to 12 different racetracks in 9 states. And he didn't even start his campaign until June 27th. One of the New York Railbird's all-time favorite war horses, King's Swan, retired after 107 races, 31 trips to the winner's circle, and just short of $2 million in earnings. The 10-year-old got a special send-off at Aqueduct. For the long shot players, the highlight of 1990 came in the Meadowlands Cup, as Great Norman, at odds of 181 to 1, led wire to wire for an all-time record payoff by a winner of a Grade 1 race, $364.80 for a $2 bet. But for racing and sports fans everywhere, the most triumphant moment of 1990 was captured by ABC Sports, as trainer Carl Nasker described for his 92-year-old owner, Frances Genner, her colt Unbridled's stretch run in the 116th Kentucky Derby.
He's on the lead, Miss Genner. He's on the lead. He's going to win. He's going to win. He's going to win. He's going to win. He's the winner. He's the winner, Miss Genner. He's the winner. He's the winner. He's the winner. He's the winner. He's the winner, Miss Genner. He's the winner. He's the winner. He won it. We won it. You won a Kentucky Derby. Oh, Miss Genner, I love you.
When we come back, we'll return to San Francisco to crown racing's 1990 champions right after this.
Good times with friends, hey, they're special. Sometimes you wish they would never end. The care you show is just as special. Friends know when to say when.
The family of Budweiser beers is proud of all the friendships they've helped make. So when they remind you to know when to say when, it's all in the name of friendship.
Friends know when to say when.
Halo is one of only 3 sires in thoroughbred history to produce 6 champions and 6 millionaires, sharing the record with Mr. Prospector and Aladar. Halo has sired 47 stakes winners and 2 Kentucky Derby winners. Halo at Stone Farm, where we're trying to raise you a good horse.
Join us at Turf Paradise on Sunday, February 24th. Or watch us live on ESPN's Budweiser's Racing Across America for the 36th running of the $100,000 Phoenix Gold Cup. This Grade 3 event will attract the best sprinters in the nation to showcase their speed at 6 furlongs. So join us at Turf Paradise for the Phoenix Gold Cup on Sunday, February 24th. Come play in paradise. Turf Paradise.
Wimbledon Farms relaunch continues to be among the industry's leading sires with 77% winners to starters, including 19% stakes winners and earnings in excess of $17 million. Relaunch at Wimbledon Farm, Lexington, Kentucky.
Morning and Mutombo are back together again, and Hoya Paranoia is running wild. But now the surprise of the Big East, Seton Hall tries to slow down Georgetown. Tonight, live on ESPN.
The bagpipes are playing to lead the honored guests at this 20th annual Eclipse Awards dinner into the grand ballroom. It is Royal Ascot, the theme for this. The class and pageantry of thoroughbred racing, and seen by the ladies in their finery with their parasols up behind us, Tom. It is a very special night.
And sort of an English twist to North American racing champions, Chris.
That it is, and now we're about ready to crown and meet those champions.
Absolutely. Let's meet and hear from some of the Eclipse Award winners of 1990.
Pin-Oak stable owner Josephine Abercrombie accepted on behalf of her homebred female turf champion, Laugh and Be Merry. The most perfect Eclipse winner was Carl Icahn's undefeated 2-year-old filly, Meadow Star. Her average margin of victory in 7 starts was more than 5 lengths. The award for champion 2-year-old colt went to Fly So Free, owned by Broadway publisher Tommy Villando. Later, we asked trainer Scotty Schulhofer if this colt has the stamina needed in a long Triple Crown campaign.
Physically, he's as sound a horse that I've ever been around. He's the type of horse I think that will stay sound. He's kind of like Crypto Clarence. Everything's put together pretty good.
For the second straight year, Bayakoa was named Champion Older Mare, following the presentation to owners Frank and Jan Whittam. Trainer Ron McAnally talked of his owner's sporting nature in twice paying Breeders' Cup supplements.
Yeah, that's true. I think, Chris, when you stop to think about these Breeders' Cup races and how important they are to have the best in the races and see what they've done to put up 200,000 to run in each race, you know, and of course we know the odds against them this year, you know, was Go for Juan's record. It was just unbelievable what those people have done for racing, and I think they deserve an awful lot of credit.
Credit also goes to owner Bob Levy and trainer Jimmy Kroll for a well-managed campaign that brought Housebuster, the Eclipse, as champion sprinter. For the third straight year, the Breeders' Cup Steeplechase champion took the Eclipse in that category, as Michael Jackson's Morley Street earned top honor. And one of the late finishers we spoke of was It's All Greek to Me, the champion male turf horse. Steve Redding accepted the award with a good deal of support from the family of trainer Wally DeLazzi, who talked about the Grass Star.
I tell you, the Breeders' Cup was a very impressive race for this horse. At 39-1, I didn't know how he would fit in with these other international horses, but then I knew I had something very special. He did everything I wanted him to in that race and had a perfect ride by Corey Nakatani, and that gave me a real thrill.
In the rider categories, 40-year-old Craig Perrette was voted outstanding jockey for his work aboard numerous stars of 1990. During the year, Perrette guided his mounts to a record-equaling 57 stakes wins. And 19-year-old Mark Johnston continued a long tradition of Maryland-based apprentice jockeys, receiving the Eclipse Award. Johnston had a simple answer for the secret to his success.
Determination is the key. I was a kid, and it's something I wanted to do. I don't know, I just went to the races one day and I saw the jockeys and the horses and I loved it, and I said, that's what I want to be. Because I always got teased in school about being the small guy. So I really put my mind to it, and I just went to the racetrack and talked to as many people as I could, got as many connections, and I finally met people that would give me a shot, and determination is all it took.
And the celebration will continue from the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco as the Gold Eclipse is presented for Horse of the Year.
Nothing beats a bud with a friend. Nothing beats what we've got here. Nothing beats clean, crisp, cold. Nothing beats the king of beers. Yeah, nothing beats a bud. Yeah, nothing beats a bud. Nothing beats a Budweiser. Nothing beats a bud.
Come be a part of the tradition of excellence at Frank's Farms, Southland Division in Ocala, Florida. Frank's Farms makes available to the breeder with any budget the sire lines of Northern Dancer, Raisin Native, Nijinsky 2, Exclusive Native, Sovereign Dancer, and Mr. Prospector. The Southland Division's 1,000-acre farm features a complete facility for breeding, boarding, breaking, and training. Be a part of the tradition of one of America's leading thoroughbred owners, the multiple Eclipse Award-winning Frank's Farms, Southland Division in Ocala, Florida.
Another Breeders' Cup championship moment at New York's Belmont Park. 3-year-old champion Unbridled stunned his rivals by overcoming a difficult post position to make a daring stretch run in the $3 million Breeders' Cup Classic.
Here comes the Derby winner! It is Unbridled who fights his way to the front and wins the 7th Breeders' Cup Classic.
Unbridled's come-from-behind victory was his Breeders' Cup championship moment.
A lot of people never get a chance to see the racetrack this time of day, and that's too bad because this is my favorite time out here. I mean, it's calm, it's peaceful, coffee's good. It's so calm here in the morning, it's almost intense. But there's another time you just gotta love, too. Around here, we call that post time.
Nominations close February 23rd for the Jim Beam Stakes, running on March 30th.
One of America's favorite funny men, Tim Conway, served as the Eclipse Dinner's master of ceremony. A great friend of racing, he had some advice for new owners in the sport.
The first thing, of course, you do when you buy horses is to build a trophy case, because God only knows that thing's going to fill up in no time, right? So we did. We sunk about $30,000 into a solid oak trophy case, which we have at home. We've been in racing now with horses almost 6 years. We have one trophy, a plastic fruit bowl.
There have been many more awards in thoroughbred racing for the owner of the year, 92-year-old Francis Genner. Her homebred colt Unbridled was the year's 3-year-old champion, and her trainer Carl Naskra also won an Eclipse.
Miss Genner, you know, she's everybody's mother or grandmother, and like I said at the Derby, if we ever win one Derby, this is for her, and she got owner of the year, and you know, the lady truly deserves it, and what more can you say than Unbridled was not horse of the year. Criminal Tight's a nice horse. And Miss Genner's owner of the year. I was selected trainer of the year. He's 3-year-old of the year. And what more could you expect? And it's just a great year for all of us. It really is.
Criminal Type, owned by Calumet Farm and trained by D. Wayne Lucas, was named champion older horse and then received the coveted Gold Eclipse as 1990's Horse of the Year.
Yeah, that little gold one's the one they all want. I'm elated. I think that the horse had a solid campaign, but it was always up for grabs. You know, there was so many good horses this year that we weren't sure until the actual announcement. We're thrilled.
Calumet Farm President J.T. Lundy accepted the Eclipse Award for Outstanding Breeder, then talked about the farm's 5th Horse of the Year.
Well, it's been a long time since they've had a Horse of the Year there, since 1948, and it means a great deal. That's you know, it's quite an honor, and the horse is a good racehorse, and we hope he's going to be a good stallion. He's retired there and going to stand. He's probably already bred some mares, so we're real happy with him.
The award dinner's most touching moment came as the crowd of more than 700 came to their feet to honor owner Jane DuPont Lunger as she went to the stage to accept the Eclipse Award for her champion 3-year-old filly, the late Gopher Wand.
We started racing 52 years ago. Can you imagine? And it was something that happens maybe once in 100 years, 200. She was wonderful. She was joyful, she was sound, and she was great. Cheerful.
Is there another Gopher Wand out there for you?
Oh, I don't believe so. No, maybe a colt this time. Maybe I'll switch. I love fillies, but maybe it'll be a colt this time.
It's that spirit, that optimism, that really makes this sport special. Well, Tom, we want to add certainly our congratulations to those winners of 1990 and best wishes for those who dream to be here to collect a 1991 Eclipse.
And it's not going to be long, Chris. We'll start on that road to finding out who might be the best in 1991.
Absolutely. Next weekend at Turf Paradise, it's the Phoenix Gold Cup here on ESPN. For all of us at ESPN, again, our congratulations to the champions of 1990. Thanks for joining us on this Eclipse Award special, Year in Review in Thoroughbred Racing. A year of triumph and tragedy. Thoroughbred Racing 1990 has been brought to you by Budweiser. Nothing beats the excitement of horse racing, and nothing beats a Bud. And by Three Chimneys. The idea is excellent. Ground transportation provided by Thrifty Car Rental. For reservations at over 700 locations worldwide. Call Thrifty at 1-800-4CAR. Travel considerations furnished by Delta Airlines. Delta has ranked first in passenger satisfaction among all major U.S. airlines for 15 straight years. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows. This has been an ESPN Sports presentation.